Oh, fish friends! Look at your fish friends! What am I doing? Well, the ecosystem tank has been set up for a few weeks now. I wanted to make sure that you guys saw the ugly phase of the build as well, because it's alright me just showing these beautiful tanks, but you need to see the process, otherwise you're going to get confused when you're doing it. Oh, mine doesn't look as good as that, what have you. There's some algae going on, there's some dirty substrate, but it's all part of the process, and as I keep saying, you need to leave a lot of that alone and then go through that phase. One thing we can always do though is clean up the front glass. I'll show you how I do that nice and quickly now. So you can see in these areas here, it's all the murkiness you can see is where there's algae on the front glass. Now I like to use a soft children's toothbrush. Actually any toothbrush would be fine, I don't know why. It has to be a children's one. It's just an old one I had laying around. Anyway, so look, there's a nice clump of algae there. Scrubbing it off, scrub, the fish are nice, are interested. Sorry snail. But yeah, look. So I just work my way backwards and forwards. Quite a lot of algae down here, like you can actually see that now against the whiteness of the brush. Backwards and forwards, and it actually stirs up the sand nicely as well. Gets rid of some of that detritus that's sat there. As the snail and shrimp population builds, I haven't got any shrimp in here yet, but I will do soon. As that builds, a lot of this waste on the front gets consumed and it all becomes part of the ecosystem, which is just what you want. And as usual, after doing something like that where you've stirred up all the substrate, you want to now do a bit of a water change. Now, as the tank progresses, we won't need to do that at all, but at this stage, not everything's balanced yet, you need to do water changes. First week you want to do quite a few. I'd say every day just take out a good few scoops with a measuring drug or something like that. That's the sort of amount you want to do. Not too much because you want it to create its own balance. At this stage I'm probably doing about 30% water change a week. I don't need to do more than that unless I see that there is a reason to. It's going really well. There's only a little bit of sort of algae on the sand in the front there, and that'll just be from the brightness of the light versus the amount of plants, which obviously is constantly evolving and changing. So yeah, let's get some of this waste material out and put it in some nice clean water. So that's looking a lot fresher. It needs time to settle, but yeah, really happy. I don't know if you saw in the video, but I removed the leaves that I had in there, the leaf litter. I'm not a massive fan of what it does to the water in terms of colour. I don't think it adds that much really either. Maybe I'll add one at a later date, just with a little bit of realism. But now that I haven't got pancho in this tank anymore, I can start putting some more details in. So I think now I'm going to add a few more smaller rocks to give some details to this area, because it's a bit too clean to be natural in my opinion. Well, I think that's looking fantastic, details-wise. Anyway, the water's still a bit murky, but that'll all clear on itself. Obviously, with no filter, that takes more time than usual. But, you know, give it a couple of hours, that'll all be clear. But yeah, the details, look. So, as you saw, I added the larger sort of rocks first. Kind of random placement. I wanted to keep the middle section there open. And then afterwards, sprinkling on the smaller stones, going down to the really fine for the last bit. That tends to be how nature works. Like, the bigger rocks are closer to the other bigger rocks, and it sort of steadily gets smaller the further away you get from an embankment. I really like that. Really happy. Let me know if you like it as well, or if there's anything you'd do different there, something you might want to add. It's always good to hear everyone's feedback, and I do read absolutely everything. And excuse the reflections, I can't help that. It's all part of being in the fish studio, but I definitely think it's now time to add some more livestock, because graduation day 4. See that male there? You are ready for the other tank. Definitely, I think. A little too light. He is fine. You alright? Yeah, he's fine. Thinks he's going to be fed because we're stood here. But yeah, time to put you across, buddy. Very well done. Well grown. One of my oldest that is in this little tank here, which was set up about 6 months ago, I think. So yeah, really good. It's really rewarding when you can bring up your own fish, see them grow. Something about that just makes them, you're even more invested in them. It's good to see. Okay, let's get him moved across. It's going to be a real pain trying to catch him, I reckon. Might tease him in a net with some food.
Life was dull until you came. I was breathless when we first met. Couldn't keep my hands away. I was speechless when we first met. Yeah, you took the pain away. Didn't mind my scars, mend my broken heart. Life was dull until you came. Now I see in color again. It could rain, I don't mind if it pours, 'cause I'm right next to you. Come rain or come shine, I don't mind, 'cause I'm right next to you. It's you, right next to you.
Right, let's give him some food. Tetra actually sent me a load of food. Obviously a bit of a sales thing, but I'm okay with that because they're supporting the channel and the fish love the food, so you can't really complain. It's a win-win for everyone, and I get to show you now how much they do. These are the micro granules, and I find they're really good for guppies, and especially the younger guppies, the smaller kind, or endlers as well, to be fair. So yeah, let's just take a look. Tiny grain size. I love it. Look, what's this? There we go, look, just the right size for him. Peck, 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 nice and gone. When you're feeding your fish, you want to do a little tiny sprinkle like I've just done there. Let them eat it all, and then feed a little bit more. Don't just dump a load of food in, let it all set on the bottom and just pollute your tank. Not what you want to do.
My broken heart. Life was dull until you came. Now I see in color.
Let's take a little look at the above tank situation then. Also going very, very well. This is the Hygrophila polysperma, growing incredibly well from the off, because when I received the plants, I think they'd only been in a tank in the shop for a day, which means they're grown in their immersed state. So straight in, they converted almost instantly. If you want to do that, just call up your shop and just ask them when they're getting their plants in, and just go there the same day or the day after, and you should be fine to do what I've done as well. Just make sure the tops are already out the water, then you just can continue to get good growth.
Who would have thought I'd be up on cloud 9? I would never take our love for granted. Love how you make me feel alive.
Boston fern is also doing really well. I can see some new shoots coming up, which is always a great sign that everything is doing good. Top surface of the water, look, there's no organic matter. I mean, we did just do a water change, but there would be some if there was, which is also another really good sign that the tank is balancing out now.
I wish you'd stay, but there you go. I have so much I wanna say to you, much I wanna say, but there's no time. We used it all. Still have so much I wanna talk about, but I messed it up and there you go. There you go, walking out that door. It felt so close, closer than it felt before. Forgiving me, and I just want you to know I didn't mean it. Baby, I just wanna be with you. I should be with you.
Okay everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed making it, as I do with all my videos, but quite a short video, but an important one I feel nonetheless. Quite often we see all these end aquascapes and we think, wow, that's amazing, but they don't always show the whole story. There will always be trials and tribulations with any fish tank, and it's important that newcomers recognise that you don't just give up. Every single aquarist has these problems. You just got to overcome them. Keep working on them. Don't give up. Like, nature's got a way of sorting things out itself. As long as you're not just chucking loads of food and there's loads of waste in the tank, it will sort itself out. Don't overstock, don't overfeed, and balance will sort of come itself eventually. Some tanks take longer than others, but either way, it'll work out all right in the end. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and if you have, please hit the like button. I remember I watched a video of Mike from DIY Aqua Pros. He was saying about hitting the like. It really helps boost us in the YouTube algorithms, which is important because it just will enable me to make more content in future for you guys. Quite often we forget to interact with the video, and apart from viewing it, which is great, but YouTube loves a like. So if you can give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, that would be great. As you can see, I've got a microphone here now as well, so my audio, this just turned up actually, so I've only got it for this last little bit, but for future videos you should have a lot better audio, which is great. Really enjoying this at the moment, guys. It's a hobby that's turning into something else actually, but it's great, and I'm really pleased to be able to do it, and grateful as well. So please carry on, continue to support me, and I'll catch you next time. Oh, and I hope you've enjoyed some of the 80s music. I've never listened to the 80s music until recently, and I'm actually thinking it goes really well with the videos, and that's why I've stuck quite a few of it in. But yeah, if you don't like it, tough. I like it. Okay, all right, cheers guys, see you later.